Boom. Igor Amadeus Cavalera. How you doing, dude? It's actually nice to meet you. I know we were supposed to do this like on my birthday last week, but obviously I think you and I just got really busy with stuff like that. And I think you've had some stuff going on as well. So
Yeah, I got home from tour like 2 days before the holidays started, so I really had to bust ass to get my Christmas shopping and things like
yeah.
that. I have a big family and a lot of close loved ones I had to get stuff for.
Yeah.
Which I mean that sounds really boring, but it's actually way more exhausting and time consuming than one would think.
Oh, dude, I find that people always do Christmas shopping, right? Like maybe like less than a week till Christmas, and you just see like shopping centers everywhere just flooded. Like last minute,
Yeah.
I'm like, can you just do this earlier, please, so I can actually go for a walk around the mall without seeing
Yeah,
any
that was
chaos?
my plan. I went out on like a Monday or a Tuesday and it was still just terrible. And I also noticed like people are just awful this time of year. It's like you're supposed to be in a good mood and thankful and expressing gratitude and all this stuff, and it just makes people like the meanest that they've been all year. It's so weird. So I'm really glad all that's done. I can just chill till the new year now.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you on that, man, because like it's just like, come on, man, it's that time of the year. We all should be
Be
loving us.
happy. Yeah.
Is it that hard to be kind? No. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. No, it's a basic human kindness.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. There's no price tag on being kind, man, for fuck's sake.
Too
Well,
true.
dude, yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. Like, this is
Oh, of
just
course.
uh, just to I guess just to have like a Cavalera on my podcast is just like a dream come true for me because obviously being a big fan of your dad, um Soulfly was my first love before Sepultura. So like, um, what's it like jamming with obviously Max is your dad? Like, what's it like jamming like with your dad on stage like almost every night, playing like like the Nailbomb stuff and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the cool thing is that we're in a couple of bands together, as you just
Yeah,
mentioned. We do Nailbomb, Go Ahead and Die, which is a little bit more, I'd say, my project. I'm kind of the
yeah,
creative control behind that one. And then I also play bass with Cavalera, which is
yeah,
Max and his brother Igor on drums. So, the dynamic is a little different between each band, you know. With Cavalera, where I'm playing bass, I'm definitely more just like whatever they want to do, we'll do it. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
tell me we're gonna do this song, I'll learn this song. You tell me we're gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Um, with Go Ahead and Die, that being a little bit more my creative thing, I get to call the shots and I get to be like, nah, this is gonna be the set list. These are the songs we're gonna play. We're gonna add some stuff here. You know what I mean? I get to have a little bit more creative control.
control. Yeah,
And then Nailbomb was really cool too because that was just super unexpected. Um, I never really thought I would be doing Alex's parts. Um, I'm a huge Alex Newport fan. Like I can't even stress that enough.
yeah,
I've been obsessed with Fudge Tunnel like since I was a teenager. Even Nailbomb, like it's one of my dad's projects, but I love the input that Alex had on that album. And finding myself doing his parts and like having to learn his vocals and try to recreate how he sounds was like a challenge, but it was also just super cool. And beyond that, we had a little bit of contact. I wanted to get into his headspace, so I asked him like what some of the lyrics and like ideas and what was going through his head when they made that record. And he actually sent me this really cool detailed email like breaking
oh
down
yeah,
each song and kind of being like, yeah, like 24-hour bullshit was like about sitting around watching the tube all day and like just killing your intelligence watching television, you know, like just little things like that really helped me get into his headspace, you know.
Mm.
And so I know I got a little sidetracked there. I just wanted to
That's all good.
explain kind of my background with Alex and stuff. But yeah, I mean, jamming with my dad is super cool. You know, it's not something many people get to share. You know, there's a lot of musicians and their children make music, but it's not a lot of times you see them on stage together.
Yeah,
And let alone as something of kind of equals, you know, like me and him are with Go Ahead and Die, and with Nailbomb and stuff, we're both singing, we're both playing guitar, we're both coming up with ideas for the sets, you know.
yeah,
So it's honestly just a super like enjoyable experience all the way around. I mean, working with family can be tough sometimes, but luckily for me, I mean, he's definitely my dad, but he's also like my best friend, you know.
yeah, yeah,
We really
100%.
we really just get each other, you know, even on just a personality level. And it's fun, you know. He teaches me stuff, I teach him stuff, like, you know, especially with Go Ahead and Die, you know, like being in creative control of that, like what was cool to tell the guy with 40 years experience, like, nah, we're gonna do it this way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? This should be a
yeah,
blast beat here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that type of stuff. And also, I mean, you know, it's like every son's dream to make your dad proud.
yeah,
And he tells me all the time how proud he is of me, and like that could just like bring a tear to my eye, honestly, just making him proud, you know. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, that's probably one of the biggest driving forces behind me and him doing stuff together, is like I feel like I'm, you know, carrying the family torch, or whatever you want to call it, you know.
yeah, yeah. You well, pretty much you're carrying like the Cavalera name too, as well, because it's so big
Yeah,
in the music
yeah.
industry, and like for you to do that, I think that's fucking awesome. And
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to hear some more new music from you in the near future, man. I'm here for the support, and also, I just love what you do. So like so how did you get into horror movies, man? Like, because I know you're a big horror fanatic like myself.
Yeah.
Like, what switched you into horror? Because like I was reading your book, which I have here. I'm only like 4 chapters in,
Thank
but
you. I
nah,
appreciate it. Either way, take your time, enjoy it. Yeah.
I am. I'm not a quick reader or anything. I'm a bit of a slow
Yeah.
reader and shit. But like I love this quote that you have in your book. It says, "For my mom and pops who showed me all of the best retro horror movies as a kid," and I thought that's pretty damn cool to add that in the book, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be a lot of the start of it. Basically, to give you a little lore behind our family,
Yeah.
um my mom and dad are both, I would say, mildly obsessive collectors. Uh
Oh, yeah, nice.
they 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 like to collect things, and as a kid, my dad, like our living room had these shelves in there,
Yeah.
and they were just lined with VHS tapes, like from the floor to the roof. Like every great movie to every stupid forgotten gem of the 80s and 90s was like on that wall, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
We would go to Blockbuster and like not return the movies, you know? Like, so I was like one of those weird little like spooky kids. Like I was getting into punk metal, video games, like just whatever at like a pretty young age, you know, 7 or 8 years
Mm.
old, honestly. And I would go in the living room and like look through these VHS tapes, and I would just pick stuff I wanted to try and watch, like based on the cover, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of them I'd like beg my dad to put on because he was the easy one. My mom would be like, "No, he can't watch that. He's too young." But my dad would just be like, "Oh yeah, sure," you know, like he
Sounds like
was,
my dad too.
yeah, he was like the easy one to win over, you know. Nothing against my mom. I appreciate her disciplining
Yeah,
us as well because kids need
yeah.
that too. But
Oh, yeah.
anyways, I'd like beg my dad to like watch something, and I remember specifically like a huge one was the It TV like mini series with Tim Curry from the early 90s.
Yeah,
I would like beg him to watch that like once a week, and it would get to the part where his like mouth opens and he rips the kid's arm off, and
yeah,
like I would just run out of the room screaming every single time. And I would like keep trying it until I got through it, you know? And I
yeah,
think it took a couple of years to be honest. But anyways, like yeah, I always just liked like weird creepy shit, man.
yeah.
Like and as soon as I could read, I would arguably say I got more into horror books than movies. I
Okay.
love horror movies, but like books were where I really realized like wow, like you kind of create the atmosphere and everything like in your own brain, and that was what led me to writing and whatever. So yeah, man, just like I said, I was just kind of one of those weird kids. Like, I was just like down with all the creepy shit, like metal and horror and fucking
Yeah.
fantasy video games and horror video games. And I started with like Resident Evil, all the way to like
Same.
Zelda and Pokemon and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It also helped that I'm the youngest of 7 children in my family.
Oh wow.
So I had siblings born in the 70s. I had siblings born in the 80s, and then me and my closest brother were born in the 90s. So I also had them showing me like my amount of references I get goes way beyond somebody born my age. Like I know a lot of weird stuff because of my older siblings.
Yeah.
I know a lot of just 80s horror movies, 70s horror movies. Stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, it all comes down to just being in that household as a kid and being exposed to this stuff. And like I said, sometimes even my mom was the one kind of trying to keep us a little innocent and stuff, but I always had like an older brother or sister or my dad like probably showing me stuff I shouldn't have seen at 10 years old. But
Yeah.
it resulted in me having an interest in these things and working towards it. So I think in the long run it was a good thing.
Yeah. See, I could kind of relate to that as well because like I was a bit of an outsider in school, especially in high school as well. I wasn't like the smartest kid out of everybody in the fucking school, man. Like
Yeah.
I normally I don't like to talk about this, but like I do have a bit of dyslexia as well. So like, and that's
Yeah.
something that I don't really talk about because like I always just get looked the other way because of it, and I just don't like fit in with the other people. But I don't really give a
Yeah.
shit anyway. But
Yeah,
like
exactly.
metal music for me, uh, was like my best friend, and
Yeah.
then horror movies after that. But then like. What got me into horror though was like Kiss and Alice Cooper. I know it might sound a
Yeah.
little bit
Dude,
odd, but like
seriously. No, no,
it's a,
that's
it's a
totally
theatric.
valid. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. and and I just fell in love with horror like at 12 years old. Like the same
Yeah.
with you, like going to like the Blockbuster. I remember when
Hmm.
Scream came out, and
Yeah.
then mom and dad was like, "Oh, what movie would you want to get?" And it was just the cover of the chick's eyes at the front. It said
Yeah.
Scream, and I'm just like, that.
This looks cool. Yeah.
And then I yeah, got hooked onto it, man. It's just horror movies is like discovering your favorite band,
Yeah.
you know.
No, absolutely.
Once you
Yeah, I
find
mean,
something, it's gonna get hooked onto you forever.
no, definitely. And yeah, to me, I mean, horror is like it's like the heavy metal of cinema and literature, you know? Um that all those things just go hand in hand to me. And I can agree with you on many of those points. I've been diabetic most of my life. I was diagnosed with
Yeah,
diabetes at like 2 years old. So there was a lot of times I was just ill as a kid and had
yeah,
to stay home and whatever, you know what I mean? And yeah, for me, like books and movies and music was like literally what kept me sane through that time. Cause um I had friends and stuff, but yeah, it wasn't always an option to like go out and hang out with them, especially if my sugars were getting kind of crazy, you know?
yeah,
So that, yeah, I just gravitated towards that stuff. I was like, if I can't hang out with people, I'm gonna at least like just have this fantastic imagination going on in my mind with all these outlets that I have. And you know, even if it's horror or whatever, if a kid's reading a book, that's a good thing. I don't care.
yeah,
You know what I mean? No matter what. Like, especially nowadays, I mean with just, screen time and stuff like that. It's like if a kid's reading a book, let him read the book, whatever it is.
yeah,
Um so yeah, I definitely spent a lot of time in my room not feeling too good, and that was like what kind of kept me together, and that's what led to me making music and writing myself, because I was like, man, maybe there's some like 13-year-old out there who's going to hear my stuff or read my book, and that's going to get him through like
mm,
some borderline miserable days in his room.
yeah, yeah,
So like, yeah, no, like I get it, man. I was a weird kid too. Like I definitely I had some friends, but none of them listened to metal. None of them liked
yeah.
horror. They were like little skater kids, and I loved them. I'm still friends with some of them, but I was like way different than them. You know what I mean? I was like on a
I can
totally
relate to
different.
that.
I was on like a totally different thing, But they were still my
Yeah,
buddies, but they were always like, he's a little out there.
yeah. But he's still cool, but he's just a bit of an outcast and all that shit. No,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
I can relate to that, and I always find like the outsider people are always the cool people because like you can always have
Yeah.
something in common with them, within
No,
music,
definitely. Yeah.
metal, games, whatever. And that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast too, even though it's been going for like 2 years or so. I like talking to like-minded people, and especially like
Yeah.
yourself. Um, and that's a good way of connecting with them, and you build a friendship out of it, man. And that's what I love about it.
Absolutely. I mean, music and all of this at the end of the day is connection, and
Yeah.
like I said earlier, it is about like when you're going through some shit and that music hits or like that book hits or whatever you're doing gets through to you, it will connect you to other people eventually. I mean, if you get into music and you start going to shows, you'll meet people. And
Mm.
I know there's a lot of like stereotypes that like, oh, like metalheads are like elitists and this and that, but honestly, if you go to a show, people will talk to you, people will be your friend. If someone sees you wearing a shirt of a band you like, you know what I mean? Like if you just
Oh,
get out
yeah.
there, you'll find those other outcasts, and you can all be outcasts together, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, dude. So I went and saw Metallica in November recently for the first time ever because like I've
Nice.
never seen them live before, and I've been a fan since I was 16. And so I'm a big Art the Clown fan. I love the Terrifier
Okay.
films. So I
Yeah,
have like
yeah.
the Art the Clown. I had the Art the Clown tattooed
Nice.
Art the Clown tattooed on my leg, and it's got like the sunflower glasses on, and he's doing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
peace sign. And we're in line, and I had this guy just tapping me on the shoulder and goes, "Dude, I like your Art the Clown tattoo, man. It's fucking badass. What's your favorite genre of metal? Of horror?" I'm like, "Well, this and this and this and this," and we just became friends. And I was just like, "Oh, here's my podcast here. If you want to check it out, cool. If you don't, then that's okay too." So there you go.
No, of
And yeah,
course. Yeah, I mean
it's
that's
awesome.
really what it's about. And even for me, playing in the bands and stuff, like I'm just a dude. I'm not any different than anybody else. If I'm outside of a venue at a show I'm playing and you come up and talk to me, I'll talk to you. You know what I mean? It's
Mm,
not like I don't know. I don't ever want to be too cool. If I'm ever being too cool to talk to people, like somebody smack me, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Just be
but
you. Like,
yeah, exactly. You know, it's like you could come up to me and talk about like the taco truck across the street, and I'll be like, "Yeah, dude, those tacos were super sick." Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I don't. And don't get me wrong. Yes, there are some people that exist within music and these things that are too cool to talk to you and too cool to be like that. But like fuck those guys. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
100%.
if you're too cool to like stand outside the club and have a smoke and chat with people who like your music, like
Mm.
you I don't know, fuck off. Go do something else. Work from home on your computer if you don't want to deal with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is so true. I mean, I've met countless people um you know, even just a few years ago, I moved to a town that I didn't know anybody in. I always just thought it was a beautiful place. You know, it's here in Arizona. It's called Flagstaff, but I didn't know anybody there.
Yeah.
I never had any friends there. But I moved up there. I lived there for a year, and I ended up meeting the entire music scene because I was wearing an acid bath hoodie in the grocery store.
Oh,
And
that's sick.
literally one guy was like, "Dude, acid bath, that's a sick hoodie." And I was like, not even trying to be desperate or anything, but I was like, "Yo, man, are there like metalheads up here?" You know what I mean? I was like, I just moved here like a month ago and I don't know anybody. And within a couple of months, I knew most of the people in the scene there, you know, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going to the shows, and it wasn't awkward anymore, you know. So sometimes it's like you just gotta like talk to people and do that because you realize there's other people that feel like outcasts, and there's other people that feel like the same way that you do, you know. And it at
Yeah.
least for me, it helped me to know like you're not alone in this feeling, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you deal with social anxiety, like myself
Yeah.
as well.
Oh yeah.
Um, even though I get anxiety when people drink, and I'm a
Yeah.
non-drinker. I've stopped drinking for like 10 years and stuff like that, man.
Good for
And it
you,
just
man.
makes me
Yeah.
thanks, man. Um, it makes me feel so fucking anxious to be around those people, and I'm just like, no, I'm going now. See ya. And that's
Yeah.
the reason why I rarely go out these days, apart from going to gigs and going to family dinners, and that's it.
No, I mean I get it. I actually quit drinking last July
Oh,
of
congrats,
or
man.
June, sorry, June of
Yeah,
2024. Um yeah, I mean I don't need to shy away from it. I use drinking to get through social situations. Um
yeah,
I use drinking and drugs to get through social situations, you know what I mean? Other people, especially drunk people, are hard to deal with, and if I would get
yes,
drunk myself, I could deal with that shit then. But I eventually woke up one day and was like, nah, not anymore. I'm done with it.
yeah,
I'm done being hungover, and I'm done even just being in those situations, you know, just being drunk, not feeling good, not like whatever, you know. Even my dad is a big advocate for going sober. You know, he spent
ah,
many
good
years
on
of
him.
his life drinking and doing
Yeah,
drugs and stuff, and I mean he certainly doesn't hide it. It's in his book, it's in his autobiography and whatever, you know. We're all big advocates for just doing what's best for you, you know.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, social anxiety and things like that suck, and yeah, being around drunk people sucks, and that is one of the downsides of being in a band and on tour. You know, those things are like super reinforced and
mm,
to be honest, glorified. You know, definitely like being a party boy in the music scene is like romanticized in a way, you know. And
yeah,
you know, I was just like, fuck all that, man. I'm gonna raw dog reality and like see what it's all about and actually feel my feelings and process shit like a normal person and not
yeah,
use
yeah.
alcohol and drugs and stuff to get through that shit. So yeah, I'm well on my way as well. Something like 18 or 19 months or something now.
Oh, man, congrats. That do you feel like that's actually like help you help your mind a little bit better as well? You're
Oh
actually
yeah,
staying
dude.
focused. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
same.
I
I
mean,
feel the same way too.
yeah, once again, I once again, I don't shy away from like who I am and what I've been through and everything. And looping back to being a teenager and feeling like an outcast. I started smoking pot when I was like 12 and started drinking
Oh,
alcohol
wow.
by the time I was like 13. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I spent many, many years of my life just getting totally loaded on lots of different things. And it does mess with your head. Like that stuff they tell you, like, warning you about drugs when you're a kid and you don't want to wind up like an old fucking crazy person. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
a level of truth to all of that. You abuse of substances for long enough, it starts to mess with your head. And yeah, getting sober was like so good for my mental health and my just rational thinking, my speaking skills, even my social anxiety actually went away a little bit. I thought it would get worse quitting drinking, but
Mm,
I realized when I was in control of my thoughts and in control of like what was coming out of my mouth, like I wasn't as nervous and I wasn't as anxious, and I definitely didn't wake up feeling like, oh man, like did I say something embarrassing last night or did I do something stupid because I was too drunk or whatever. So like
yeah.
it has had the best impact it ever could, and I I will always advocate for somebody to not drink. Not everybody who drinks is an alcoholic, but if you notice that it's just having a negative effect on you, then I fully condone just stopping. Like that's the best thing anybody could do.
Yeah. 100%, dude. You're just gonna do some more damage to yourself, man, and we don't
Exactly.
want that. We don't want that. Just give us a second. I was gonna just charge my phone first.
Oh, you're good. Take a drink of water real quick.
No, you're all right, man. You're all right. So, tell us a little bit about like how did you get into writing books? Because I aren't you writing a third one right now?
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
am. I'm constantly writing when I'm not on the road.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
and I mean, yeah, just getting into writing was like I guess just a passion, just like music or anything. I like I said, I got into reading horror pretty much as soon as like once again, like I said, my dad had this huge VHS collection, my mom had this huge book collection, and
Mm,
I knew who Stephen King was from like the movies. I knew what The
yeah.
Shining was. I knew what It was, as I mentioned earlier. And I was like, whoa, this guy wrote like so many things that got turned into movies. And I mean, even, yeah, as like a young teenager, I knew he was like so regarded as a great writer and whatever. Um, so I just started taking those books out of my mom's collection and like trying to read them. And I was a little too young when I first started. I couldn't really like keep up with what was going on, but
Yeah.
I wanted to. Like I wanted to
Yeah.
know what the books were about so bad. So I just read stuff more at my level, Goosebumps, scary stories to tell in the dark.
Oh, hell
Um
yeah.
Things like that, like horror stories
Yeah.
for kids.
Yeah.
And I just like stuck with it, and by the time I started my first novel when I was like 16,
Yeah.
um, which when I read it now, I could tell I was 16 when I wrote it, but I think it's
Yeah.
cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like to see that I've come a long way from where I was.
Mm,
But yeah, I don't know. I guess just like the I liked the visualization and representation of what writing does like to your brain, and it got me through hard times, and it got me through like yeah, days of being just sick and ill, dealing with a disease, and I just wanted to do it myself.
mm.
So it's hard. Writing a book's really hard. Like it's as simple as like putting one word in front of another until you're done, but it's also as complicated as anything you could imagine,
Yeah.
and you write yourself into holes and into a corner, and you don't know where you're going with it, and it's frustrating, and I want to quit all the time, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like I don't, I just stick with it because I'm not writing for money. I'm not writing to be famous and whatever. Like I'm writing because I just have these ideas up here and they got to get out somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that first book I wrote from like 16 to 19. And then the book you just held up, I wrote in like my early 20s.
Oh, nice.
Um, and then I'm 30 now, so it's been a few years. I've actually jumped between a couple different novels. I have technically three that are sort of on the burner. But there's one I've really been focusing on that I'm almost done with, and I'm hoping will be out next year or the year after at the latest. But yeah, it's just it's fun, it's challenging, it's another form of expression. I mean, there was so many reasons to do it, and your real
Yeah.
life bleeds into it a little bit. Um, Not in a literal sense, but sometimes the way the characters feel and the things they go through can kind of reflect things you go through in real life. And once again, it's all about making a connection with the person reading it or listening to it or whatever they're doing. Um, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a passion, just something I wanted
Yeah.
to do, see what would happen.
Yeah. No, but so like I was saying to you before, I'm only 4 chapters in, but from what I've read, I'm just like, this is gonna be good. I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
finish the whole book and stuff like that. You reckon you could see yourself maybe doing like short films in the near future or anything like that for horror?
Yeah, I mean that would be great. I've never tried writing like screenplay style,
Script.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem too crazy compared to writing a novel. And I would argue a screenplay is probably a lot less words. Like a novel,
Mm.
you're usually shooting for anywhere from like 60,000 to like 100,000 words, which sounds
Yeah.
insane when you say it that way. But that's like a normal, 250, 300 page book. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would definitely be open to it. I just any medium of creation is fun to me. Film, music, literature, art, like photography, anything that can be created and evoke some kind of feeling out of a person, like I'm interested in.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know?
People like I've interviewed like a lot of like short film directors on this podcast, and some of the stuff when what they send me and stuff, and I watch it, and I'll just be so amazed on like how they can get like a 12 or 13 minute film and make like a whole like a script in that short period of time, man. And
Yeah.
like full power to those people, man, because that takes a lot of time, even though you're trying to fit in the whole story within what 10, 15 minutes, man. It's really crazy how they do all that stuff, man. And I find that pretty interesting too.
Yeah, and it's also amazing, I mean, what you can achieve with that. I mean, you were
Mm,
just talking about Terrifier, and I mean, Damien Leone started those as short films. I mean, the first Art the Clown feature was
the Knife
I think
Circle.
I think a 15 20 minute thing tops, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And now, I mean, that movie's making hundreds of $1 million. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool to see that happen, and it's really, whether or not you like the films, you gotta at least respect that the guy had an idea and made something out of it. And I
Mm,
enjoyed those movies. I think they're hilarious, honestly. Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like I mean, they're obviously incredibly gruesome and whatever, but like I don't know. I think that shit's kind of funny in a way, like especially with the practical special effects and just things like that. Like, but I also think like, yeah, like indie film producers and writers can sometimes make the coolest shit and it just doesn't get the light of day, you know,
Yeah.
or it doesn't get the exposure that it deserves. And I mean, same with music. There's plenty of like DIY bands that I love. Um, and I support them, but I also realize like just how hard it is to get that exposure and to get a
Mm,
foot in the door.
yeah.
Um, I was lucky enough to have a foot in the door with music because of my family, but yeah, with the writing stuff, it's totally DIY. You know what I mean? Even those the book you're holding was basically I mean, I didn't literally do the art, but I did sit and have to like put the files together and do all this computer bullshit to make that thing work that I
Yeah.
had no knowledge of and no nothing and no publishing house backing me or promoting it. Like every single one of those I've sold has been from me just pushing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's awesome. And like I said, I don't do it for money. I don't do it for recognition or anything. I really just want to write stuff and put it out there and have people read it. And um, whether they like it or not, let me know what they think, you know?
Yeah. I always gonna like stuff regardless like how average or shit it is or whatever it is. I don't really
Yeah,
care. I'm a big supporter of supporting people, man, and that's what I love to do and shit. But like
of
what is
course.
like one of what's your favorite genre of horror? Like do you have a particular favorite that you enjoy watching and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. I certainly gravitate towards like supernatural,
Okay.
uh ghost stories, demonic possessions, things like that.
Mm,
Um I like when there's a sense of like unreality to it, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Um like like Phantasm, as weird as that sounds. Like
Yeah.
movies like that, as goofy and like dated as it is, it's just like so abstract and so weird and unsettling.
Mm,
I love stuff like that. Hellraiser, I think, is another good example of that. Like it's not your typical story. I mean, even though it has those senses of demonic and otherworldly whatever type stuff, it's just super out there as well. Um
mm,
and yeah, I mean, it's similar with like books. Like one of my favorite writers is Peter Straub, and he's a little lesser known than guys like Stephen King or Clive Barker, but
mm,
he just writes in such a crazy, like, abstract way where you're like almost confused for the first quarter of the book, and then things start like falling into place, and you're just like, oh fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, what did I just read? Type
yeah.
shit. It all starts to make sense. All of us, like, this abstract story starts to make sense, and you're like, dude, that was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's the kind of stuff I like. Um, even like getting into like David Lynch style stuff, like you kind of don't know what the fuck's going on, but then it just starts to click, and maybe it just it's like just for you it clicks that way. I
Mm,
think that's the beauty of it all. We can all look at the same thing and find different stuff in it, and
yeah.
I just like stuff like that, yeah, just hauntings and possessions and um madness kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've I've always been a big slasher guy. Like I was saying to you before, like
Nice.
Scream got me into the whole slasher
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But like for the last couple of years, I've been getting into like the psychological horror stuff, like the
Oh
mind,
yeah.
even especially like what Jordan Peele has been doing with his last couple of
Dude,
movies.
he's killing it. Yeah.
Like I remember watching Nope in theaters with my mate, and we were trying to figure out like this fucking alien shit, right? We couldn't tell if
Yeah.
it's act because it was a UFO, right? Like the spaceship, but then it just turned into
Yeah.
like a fucking sort of like a mushroom cloud slash blanket. And it's just like sucking people up, and we're just like, what the hell is this? But like, this is fucking awesome. This is
Yeah.
like from like a interview that I saw of him when that movie came out. He wanted to do like a different style, like alien invasion movies, something that we
Okay.
haven't seen before. And I think that he's done a
Yeah.
really good job with that movie, man.
Yeah. No, I mean he's killing it, and yeah, I mean any type of thing that makes you think like that, and even just question what you just saw. I don't think writing books or making films should be a hand holding experience. I
Mm,
think it should be left to you to determine how you feel and what you think about what just happened on the screen. That being said, I don't want to come off as a total pretentious fucking nerd. I love
yeah,
slashers too. The
yeah,
original Halloween is one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion.
yeah.
I love the original Halloween so much. I have the cover tattooed on my leg as well, like you were
Oh,
just
that's
saying.
sick. Yeah,
The pumpkin with the knife, the jack-o'-lantern with the knife thing.
yeah.
Um, I do love just some mindless gore as well. There's totally nothing wrong with that.
Mm,
Um, and once again, I mean that's the beauty of all this stuff too, is it can be as intelligent or dumb as you want it to be. It can be as artsy or as brutish as you want it to be. Enjoy everything, man. Like there's no reason to not get into something, you know? Like you can enjoy whatever you want. And it's the same with
yeah,
music. I listen to everything from fucking straight up gore grind death metal to like fucking girl boss pop punk happy dappy sing along shit. Like I really don't
yeah.
care. I'm not here to like impress anybody. I'm not here to prove anything. If I like it, I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Same here. Yeah, same here, man. That's why I'm supporting my friend's band shirt,
nice.
Witchgrinder.
Shout them out.
Yeah, man. I've seen them twice. The first time I saw them was with Static X, and after the meet and greet with Static X, the singer is like, "Oh, you're at the Static X meet and greet." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, we're that first band that opened up for them," and blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Oh, you guys sounded sick, but you should really sack your sound guy." Because
Yeah,
we
right.
couldn't really hear his guitars or anything. He kind of just laughed. I'm like, yeah, I'm
That's
sorry, mate.
funny.
I didn't give a fuck. And then the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
time was with Combi Christ, and we just hung out and stuff like that. But nah, they're a really cool band, dude. I'll send you some stuff later on Instagram. They're more like they're a horror style, like they do like horror theme songs, but
Okay.
it's more like industrial thrash metal, and I think you will dig it, man.
Killer, man. I love both those things. And yeah, I mean,
Same.
the mixture of them is always good. I mean, that's definitely kind of the nail bomb vibe. Industrial with fast stuff and like crust punk and all this shit mashed into one thing, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything. Like, and as you mentioned earlier on Instagram, I mean, I get stuff sent to me all the time. I'm constantly checking out new shit. Um, I I'm a I might come off as a little bit of a hater because I like to have fun on my page.
Yeah,
I like to share my memes and talk a little bit of
I
shit.
say that. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but realistically, it's all in good fun. I don't actually hate anybody. I don't actually like. I'm just talking shit. You know what I mean? I'm having fun. I do check out the things people send me. I do. To be quite honest, like you could ask any of my best friends, like if I'm giving you shit, it means I like you for sure.
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
I'm fucking with you a little bit, like it means I like what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's kind of a maybe a little bit toxic on my end or whatever, but I don't know. It's just the way that I am. But yeah, man, like I like all styles of music. I like all types of shit. I even like country. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy some outlaw country. Even I like reggae. I like pop. I like everything you can imagine. I don't see any reason to not enjoy something or feel guilty about
Yeah.
it, like guilty pleasures or what. Like fuck all that, man. I don't need to be guilty about liking something.
Yeah. No, I agree as well, man. Especially for somebody that work like myself that works in the kitchen as well, long hours and shit. I just slap on like some Ghost or just something that's just gonna get me through the day, man. And just keep me
Yeah.
sane
Well,
and
of
stuff like
course.
that, dude.
What do you are you
It's the
a head
best way.
chef, line cook?
Yeah, a bit of a line cook, man.
I'm a
Dude,
musician, man. I've worked in a kitchen plenty of times. Like
yeah, it's
that's
a
the
love-hate
musician's
relationship, man.
second passion is being in a kitchen.
Oh,
I was
dude.
always front of house though. I was a server, and I also worked in a hotel where I did room service and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I know exactly what
I
it's like, man. We used to crank tunes in the kitchen all the time, and that shit gets you
it,
through it.
it's all right. One of the kitchen hands that used to work with me, I took him to his first concert, and
Yeah,
his first concert was Ghost, and he was so
nice.
fucking pumped. Yeah, I bought him a ticket and stuff like that, and it was like the first time Ghost headlined Australia, like do a proper headline tour, and like I had to be there. It's the same with Metallica. You don't know when they're going to come back out again. So I
Yeah,
bought him a ticket. I've never seen him smile so much. Normally, when he's in the kitchen, he's angry and
of
shit.
course.
But like
That's
just
also
taking him
part of
to like,
working in a kitchen.
yeah, I'm chilled. I'm like what you see in the kitchen's what you see now is just pretty chilled. I do get annoyed, but you don't really see it. But
Yeah,
in my
it
mind, I'm just like,
happens.
oh, fuck off, man. But
No,
like
I mean I
the
get it. Like I said, I was front of house, man, so I'd be taking people's orders and it's all smiles and hey, customer service, this and that, and then I'd get in the kitchen and like this motherfucker, you know what he just asked me to no, like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's just the way it is, man, and that's just being real. Like that's life, you know. I'm not
yeah,
qualified to do anything else, man. I don't have a degree. I don't I'm not a manual labor guy. I'm diabetic. That shit would kill me quite literally. Um, if I wasn't doing music, I'd be doing that for sure, you know. Like
yeah.
so no
Okay.
hate whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, let's just stay on the topic on cooking for a little bit because there's like a couple of more questions I want to ask you. Have you still got time or anything? You're not on. You're not.
Yeah,
You're,
I got
you're
another
not. Good.
probably 10, 15 minutes. That's chill.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Like, what's your favorite thing to cook?
I cook a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm the same
Uh
thing too.
so I was a picky eater when I was a kid. So
Same.
I started learning to cook when I was like 12. Um
Yeah.
because my mom was like, you know, if you don't like what I'm making, make it yourself, motherfucker. Like, and I was like,
So my
okay. I
mom.
was like one of those defiant kids, you know. I was like, all right, I'll figure. So the first thing I learned how to make was breakfast. I guess we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. I learned how to make eggs and bacon. That was
Yeah.
like, to me, that was like the bare essentials, you know. Make that before I went to school. I'd make myself some eggs, bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
And my mom's a great cook too. I should say that first. Like I learned so much about cooking from her. My dad, not so much. That he started a fire in our kitchen when we were kids. Um,
Yeah. This is the first time I'm hearing this one.
yeah, no, he was making French fries on the stovetop
Yeah.
and forgot about them and came back and the pan was just on fire like almost to the roof. And it was a grease fire. Funny enough,
Yeah.
he tried to put it in the sink with the water, but if you know, if you've ever been in a kitchen, you know water and hot oil does not mix. You know what I mean? So it only made it worse. He almost burned the house
That
down.
doesn't know.
Um, you know, I mean that's how you fuck with a new kid in the kitchen. You tell him to put ice in the fryer. Uh, but anyways,
I've
I
seen someone do
digress.
that. I
My dad would burn cereal. Um, you know, but anyways, I mean, yeah, I mean, some of my favorite stuff to cook. I was born and raised in Arizona, which to me, we're just northern Mexico here. I mean, realistically, like this was part of Mexico at one point. The culture, the cuisine is incredibly influenced by the Mexican culture. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I really wanted to learn how to make like authentic carne asada and tacos and things like that.
Yeah.
So that is definitely one of my favorite dishes to do because it's cheap, it's affordable, it's not incredibly difficult, you know, little garlic, little chili powder, nothing crazy. Um, but it also, yeah, I mean, it just reflects where I'm from. I mean, you could throw a rock and hit a good taco shop here. I mean,
That's
like
awesome.
you know what I mean? Like that is
Yeah.
our food here, you know. And even though I'm not Mexican myself, I grew up here. You know what I mean? Like to me that's the culture of the city I'm from. You know, so I appreciate it, and I definitely I like making just grilled meats. That might be the Brazilian side as well. They do a lot of just grilled meats, rice and beans. Um,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with that shit. Like,
Oh, bro, dude, it's just like because my mom's Filipino, so it's always
okay,
like fish, rice, chicken, and pork.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure. And
Yeah.
once again, you can't go wrong with that. Honestly, rice,
Fuck
beans,
no.
and any type of meat, get out of here. Like,
Yeah, yeah, 100%, dude. So, like, obviously, what you were saying, because you're a diabetic from age 2,
yeah.
has that like changed like your health habits now over the years, or what you're eating and stuff like that?
Oh, for sure. I definitely have some weird. I don't know if you'd call them eating disorders or whatever. You know what I mean? But I definitely I eat pretty light.
Mm,
I'm a pretty skinny guy. If you've ever seen a picture of me or whatever. I've always just eaten a little bit less because the more I eat, the more it can affect my blood sugars, the more I don't feel good. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I've always just kind of like eaten like a bird, like pick at
just picking
things,
and stuff. Yeah,
eat a bunch of small meals through the day rather than like two big ones. Um, and yeah, I mean, I try to avoid sweets, obviously. I don't completely neglect myself from them because like I don't know, dude. I could watch my health every day of the year and get in a car accident and die or fucking whatever. You know what I mean? You gotta
yeah,
treat yourself once in a while.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean I do try to avoid like the heavy carb things, pastas, things like that. As much as I love them, like there's not really a food I don't like, which sucks. You know what I mean? But I do just
yeah,
need to keep an eye on how much of it I eat. You know what I mean? Because yeah, if I eat too many carbs and then my blood sugar goes through the roof, that's not good for me.
mm,
So, but yeah, I mean, just basic things. Avoid the sweets. Don't drink a bunch of soda. Don't, you know what I mean? Things like that. Like those are the only
yeah,
restrictions. I still definitely allow myself some crap. Because
yeah.
it crap that stuff's good for your spirit, not your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
No, like my mum's diabetic as well too. So we have family gatherings like once a week, like on the Wednesdays and that, because that's when I'm not at work. And my sister does all the cooking, and she's a bit of a health nut like myself. We watch what we eat, and yeah, we always trying to get mum to eat a little bit more healthier, less on the sugary type stuff, and
yeah, yeah,
and it's like the best way to do it, man. But I fucking love food. I was a fat
same.
kid before, but like I don't
Yeah,
give a shit.
no. I mean,
Food's food.
if it weren't for the being diabetic, I would probably weigh another 40 pounds because I do love eating. I stop myself.
That's
You know
good.
what I mean? I go,
Yeah,
hey, you don't want to feel like crap because you're sugars. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to
yeah,
do that to yourself. But yeah, dude, I'd eat a tray of lasagna if I could. I'd eat a whole
yeah,
pizza. Like I
yeah,
love food. I love traveling because of the food, being in different parts, even just of the states. I mean, the states have so many different cuisines around the country, and then yeah, I mean, getting to go to Europe and South America, and we went to Japan earlier this year, dude. And I swear to God, I ate nothing but Wagyu steak the entire time I was there. I was so
yeah,
surprised how cheap and affordable it was, It was such good
Mm.
quality. Like the food in Japan was so sick. Like I loved it.
Yeah. No, that's so cool, man. You have to like travel to the Philippines one day and try some
I
of
would
their
love
food as
to.
well.
Yeah, I've I've
Yeah.
I've had I've had Filipino food in other countries here in the States and actually in Australia when I was there back in
Yeah.
January of this year. Very good stuff. But yeah, I would love to try it like from the source. I can only imagine that is just fucking delicious. Like
Nah, dude, you'll love it, man. There's food markets everywhere. I haven't been in years though, but um, yeah, the food markets is fucking amazing. The culture is just amazing too. That's why I'm really proud of my heritage, man. Like proud
same.
Aussie Filipino. Like I support it. So there you go, man. So my friend, let's finish off with top 5 horror movies.
Okay. You know that I've done this before and I said it then and I'll say it now like this definitely changes from day to day or whatever I'm going through. Um but just yeah, right now off tops, I mentioned this one earlier, Hellraiser. Like that's just one of the like just sickest, disgusting, like also terrifying stories of all time. And the cinematography of it's great. It's all like
Yeah,
practical special effects. Um, I'd say Pet Cemetery, Stephen King.
yeah,
Um, Once again, the whole concept of that story is just evil, depraved. Uh, you know what I mean? The scene, the scene with the guy with his brain like hanging out of his head is like super sinister, but also really gruesome. You know, really
yeah,
fucked up.
yeah,
Um, The Hills Have Eyes. I would have to
yeah,
say. I grew like I said, I grew up in Arizona, um, in a rural part, out kind of in the middle of the desert.
yeah,
So Hills Have Eyes always hit on like a personal level with that one. Just being in the middle of the desert, stranded, is like a very real possibility, and the people who live out in the middle of the desert can be a little ornery and crazy. So yeah, Hills Have Eyes always had like a really just personal thing to me. Um, yeah, I would say the It miniseries, which I think nowadays counts as a movie.
yeah,
You can watch it
yeah.
as a movie nowadays. Kind of hilarious, but Tim Curry's acting is what makes that movie what it is. The rest of
Mm,
the acting in that is like borderline bad. But Tim
yeah, of
Curry
course.
is just such a gnarly Pennywise that, like I said, I mean, as a kid, that was like the one I wanted to watch so bad, and it would just terrify me every single time. Um, yeah, and then number one would be OG Halloween. Honestly,
Nice.
like,
Yeah,
just I don't know, something about that one to me that like laid the blueprint for good horror movies. The soundtrack, the way it's filmed. Um, there's like I don't know. There's even just like this aura around it. Like every scene, you notice the leaves like being blown, which
yeah.
you know John Carpenter did all that shit intentionally. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
he built that like feeling of it. Also just horrifying. I mean, Michael Myers is like to me, he's like the out of all of them, you know, Leatherface, Jason, Freddy, Michael, the Creeper,
yeah.
Art, all of them. Like Michael is like the one that's like on top.
The
You know what I
OG.
mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Nah.
and that first one particularly, like I know they got progressively cheesier and bad as time went on, but like man, that first one was like such lightning in a bottle type stuff. You know what I mean? Like it just
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lee Curtis just crushed it. Like there's so many scenes in that movie that just make you straight up uncomfortable. Like I just I don't know. To me, that's just great. But yeah, so
Yeah.
recap: Hellraiser, Pet Cemetery, Hills Have Eyes, It, Halloween. Those are my five
Nice.
as of today, and that could change the next time we talk.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'll give you my five quickly.
Yeah,
House of a Thousand Corpse. I love
nice.
Rob Zombie's movies. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. They're great. But people these days now decide to jump on a bandwagon saying it's a fucking masterpiece now. I'm just like, before you hated it, now you're liking
Before he
it?
hated
No.
it. I will say that was my favorite of his movies. House of a Thousand Corpses was very, yeah. There was like a aura to it for sure.
Yeah. This one might put you off a little bit, but Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, no, not at all. That
It's
counts.
a horror movie, horror slash
Yeah,
Christmas movie. Doesn't
no,
really
I
matter.
agree. There's enough
Um,
there's enough Halloween stuff in that for it to count. Yeah, don't feel bad. I think the last time I did one of these, I put Lost Boys in it. Like,
man, who gives a shit, man?
you know what I
I
mean?
still,
Yeah, it's like who cares?
I told a friend that like because I saw Black Phone too, and like it had snow, so it's a Christmas movie. Anything that has snow, it's a Christmas movie. I don't give
True.
a shit.
Yeah, no, you have a valid point.
um, Nightmare on Elm Street, and so I'll probably go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I
Okay.
would go with the reboot only because I watched the reboot before I watched the original, and that's what
Okay.
made me a fan a bit. I'm always like that, watching reboots before the original. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one,
Okay.
pure masterpiece.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that movie so much,
By all
and
means, yeah.
probably the Exorcist. Um,
Very good.
to
Yeah.
this
I mean,
day, that
that's
movie still holds up.
horrifying. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It also, the craziest thing about The Exorcist is really how old it is when you realize it. Like, I'm pretty sure it predates Halloween. It predates like Phantasm. It predates so many other. I want to say it predates Jaws even and stuff like that. Like, dude, The Exorcist was like one of the like first truly terrifying things that went to screen. People were like passing out and fucking writing letters to Congress when that movie came out, trying to get it canceled. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that
I'm
that
pretty
was
sure it got.
revolutionary.
I'm pretty sure it got banned in multiple countries too when it first came out.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah,
Shit like that.
it's that is a great flick I didn't even think of when I was going through mine. But yeah, I mean, by all means, that is a solid list.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you very much for coming on. This is it's been a great honor just to get to know you, man. Like I feels like now, like I kind of known you forever, just having conversations and stuff like that.
Well,
Sometimes I
thank
go
you.
a little bit off rail, but like it is what it is. I love having conversations with like-minded people, man. And now you're part of you. Now you're being a part of a guest on my podcast. Now I classify you as my friend. So thank you so much, man.
Oh yeah, you're a friend too. That was a pleasure. It was very fun to just shoot the shit. And yeah, I'm the same way. I go on to tangents and get sidetracked, and I don't know if it's ADHD or something, but I just the ideas pop in, and it's got to get out. I got to talk about it. So this was totally comfortable. Felt like just two friends shooting the shit for sure, man.
I fucking love it. Well, I'll be seeing you in January because you'll be on tour
Yep.
with Snot. Obviously playing guitar for Nailbomb, and then obviously Soulfly is the main act. I'll be there, dude. I'll be doing the meet and greet for Soulfly, so I'll get to like meet the band and meet your dad for the first time. Obviously, being a
Oh,
fan,
killer.
14
That's
years
awesome.
old. So hopefully, we can cross paths, man, and can chill out for a little bit or something, dude. So
That'd be
I'd love to
great.
meet you in
Yeah.
person. Yeah, I'll probably
I'll be
shoot you a
looking
message
forward.
or something like that. Yeah, man, I'll probably shoot you a message or something like that. We could probably meet at the merch booth. It's up to you. But then I could
Perfect.
probably try and I might bring this with me if I remember and get you to sign that or something like that, man.
Hey, by all means, I would love to.
Yeah, too easy. Well, my name's Adam Gorak. My guest with me, Igor Amadeus Cavalera. Happy holidays, everyone. Stay safe, stay awesome, and be nice to each other, please, because like
Yep,
it's the holiday spirit right now.
it is.
If you want to just hang on for a little bit because it's got to download like the whole video at the end, just like to the cloud, um, and then yeah, we can finish up. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Peace out, man.
Later.